That's nice as far as, having an evening off and getting to watch your team perform and get a win.
Yeah, it was cool. It just brought back some memories as a kid going to the stadium, and then a lot of times in college. I haven't been back there in a while. So I will say this, I like my Buffalo Bills, but my guy Beamer is a passionate. I think in the third quarter, I think we're in a good spot with the game, and he's like, "We need this first down." I'm like, "No, I think we're still going to be fine." And that's a true fan right there. So no, it was a neat experience to get back to that stadium, which I've been to probably 15 times in my life.
Did you guys spend some time with the Bills Mafia before the game?
No, we were in the old person hangout kind of. There was no table breaking. We certainly aged ourselves with the crew we were hanging out with in the pregame.
So when you got the job here, did you immediately look at the Lions schedule and to see?
No, it was kind of lucky how it played out. So again, I'm a Bills fan, but Beamer is a Bills fan, and he pointed out those two immediately in the schedule. We'd be in Buffalo on that Sunday, and then obviously they come and play our Lions there on Thanksgiving Day. It was pretty cool.
Well, the way the Bills are going, the way the Sabres are going, a lot to cheer for in Buffalo. What do you do to keep the fans from getting into the game and giving their team an emotional lift here tonight?
Yeah, I think we need a better start than where we were the other day. Obviously, we gave Minnesota some pretty easy offense, and we're pretty good from that point on. So, same message. Really proud of the guys' effort the other day. It's reality. I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but we have 5 of our top 7 minute forwards out, and you're only going to give yourself a chance if it looks like it did the other day. We managed our game, we defended hard, and we won 2-1. We're going to hope for something similar tonight.
Derek, what does it say about a guy like Matt Luff, who looks, you described him looking like his lip had a size of a watermelon, but comes back and at the morning skate,
Yeah, it's just a credit to him. Obviously, an opportunity to play. I'm sure he's excited starting the year in Grand Rapids. But yeah, he takes that puck, and we basically had a skate yesterday, and he went over a certain output threshold from our strength coach, and he was one of them. And didn't expect to see him, and he was out there buzzing around. So yeah, credit to him. That's a lot of hockey players. And
just a lot of, the importance of guys like that, because your depth lasted a week into the season essentially before you had to start calling Grand Rapids.
Well, depth, and we've been in a tough spot right now. But I said it going in that Minnesota game. I don't care who you are. Anyone loses 5 of their top forwards, it's going to not look very pretty. We have a winnable lineup, and we do. We're very confident with this lineup, and that's a credit to what we did in the offseason. They went through this a couple times last year and had no chance. We do. And that's a credit to the depth and some of those depth signings.
Derek, it really is a different breed in a hockey player, isn't it? I'm sure you guys obviously saw it in Tampa, too, with a lot of injuries in the playoffs.
Yes.
Is it just a different mentality, you think?
I think it's a culture thing, for sure. You play through injury. It's just, how you are. Especially someone like Luff, I think he was very appreciative of the opportunity. He signs with an organization. You sell a player like that, you'd be a depth guy up and down the lineup. And then here we are, 2 weeks in, gets an opportunity. So I think he's embracing it, and him fighting through that is a good sign.
With Kubalik, you obviously had an impression of him before you arrived, got to know him. What about now? Has anything really jumped off the page that you didn't know about him?
The way he skates. He can finish, and actually compete against him when I was in the American Hockey League, and obviously in the National Hockey League when he was with Chicago. And you knew he had the shot, he could finish, but his skating, his skating away from the puck, he's getting above everything away from the puck, which is good, and I think he's getting rewarded with some offense, getting a lot of good things away from the puck.
And even when you guys are healthy, do you see some versatility there in terms of him playing on different lines?
Yeah, and I talked the other day with so many injuries. The one thing that it exposed a little bit is some matchups, which will be tough on the road tonight, and guys just not slotted correctly. We're asking a lot of some guys, as you saw the other night, we went down pretty much 3 lines in the last 6-7 minutes, and some of those guys probably would not be in that role if we were healthy, but they stepped up and we'll need it again tonight.
Coming into the season, he becomes a free agent, Kubalik, after not getting qualified, gets signed by you guys. Did you feel a chip on his shoulder at all, or did he act just as any other guy?
I think so. Chip on the shoulder, you could tell he was appreciative of the opportunity, and he would talk like that when we talked in the preseason, and even some things in his growth in the preseason, some teaching we were doing, holding guys accountable, and he was one of them. He took it very personal. And happy for him, and we need the start he's given us. It's been a good sign.
After a couple of less than desirable outcomes, you talked about the importance of getting back on track in that Minnesota game the other night. You win that game, it's a big win, but now to back it up on the road, just the importance of that or the impact of that.
Yeah, this will be a challenge. Not that the other night wasn't, but it's hard to play like that all the time. It takes a ton of effort, it takes a ton of commitment. The amount of shots we blocked in the third period. Again, our goal going into that game was to win 2-1, 3-1, which we did. And this is going to be a tough challenge tonight because this team is really deep offensively. They play fast, they play north. We do not want to get in an up and down track meet, if you will. We would like this to look very similar to the other night, and it's going to be challenging.
Do you got family and friends coming to this one or not?
A couple, yeah. So I have a few friends I grew up with that, even though I'm really close to Montreal, Ottawa, for whatever reason, they can't get over the border. I don't know, it's a mean government. There's some things in their past, maybe so it's
There you go.
wrong clientele I hung out with growing up. So this is the game that comes. Yes, and even some college friends. I always anything in New York, especially this being western upstate New York.